I decided to go to the Three Forks Off-Leash Dog Park, and I met several dogs, including Milo, Emmy, Louie again, Bella, Kimber, Ellie, Howie, and Wrigley, and their people Ashley, Noah, Carmen, Logan, and Denise. When conversing with these people, they all had something wonderful to say about their experience at this dog park. I started with Carmen. She told me she had never had dogs before COVID and then got two at the start of COVID, along with the rest of her family members. They began going to the dog park almost every day for this past year. She told me that she's met all walks of life at this particular dog park and has enjoyed every moment of it. I also talked with Ashley, who has Kimber, and Kimber apparently knows the location of this dog park just by the way the car sounds when it pulls in, and she told me that it's so fascinating to watch her dog perk up at the sound. And she also noticed that her dog had gained confidence the more time they spent with the other dogs, visiting, conversing, just enjoying their time. I think the most interesting person I talked to was Denise, who's become quite the dog taxi service for her neighbors and the other dog owners that go to this park. She enjoys watching the dogs find a place that they can just be themselves, be very relaxed and happy. They all agreed that it's a great reprieve during COVID. You can find more people that you have something in common with. They've noticed that the puppies that come to the park learn how to behave better from all the older dogs, and that the dogs that are of a similar age always visit with each other and they play. Like the younger ones will play more rough, and the older ones will usually sit and communicate and talk in different ways. They also have noticed that there's not just local people that go to this place. They have people coming all the way from Seattle. There's a certain couple that goes every Saturday morning just to visit with the others that come to this dog park, because there's such a big sense of community and belonging, and they all know each other so well, and of course they know their dogs just as well, if not a little bit more, as with every other dog owner. When I visited, there was this woman in the purple shirt here. She was from Everett, and she told me that they have her and Kimber have such a good time visiting with the people and the other dogs and learning so much more about themselves when they're in this natural environment with the lovely mountain and just all the wonderful paths, and such a good community that they have. Another person that I met there was Logan, who's been there many times before. And then there was also Noah, who had not been to this location previously. Both Logan and Noah had the dogs named Louie, and they seemed to get along very well. Logan helped Noah's dog get more acquainted, and they all talked more about how wonderful it is to have such a great location semi-close by for most of them. And they had such a wonderful time, and it was wonderful just to sit in and watch and see how well it goes. They try and have this meeting every day around 12 or 12:30, and they try and have the same dogs and then new arrivals. They love to have new arrivals show up and just have a wonderful time. Carmen also mentioned before she left that it's such a healing place, and everyone, of course, agreed that it was so wonderful to have something so unique to other places, because most dog parks in cities don't have such a welcoming nature. They're a lot more stale and sterile, and it's just amazing that they find time to do this as often as they do. And I'm very fascinated with how well trained the dogs are, how lovely their conversations are. Just listening in was such a nice experience, and I wish I could do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Glad I could get him to meet some friends up here
And
for a little bit.
Yeah.
one other thing that Carmen mentioned right as she was leaving was
Golden
that
Doodle and
the
And,
reason they
Australian
come here so often is because that the dogs are so healing to be with, and then the experiences they have renew them. They give them so much more life and zest when they go back out into the real world, and it's so easy to do when such a happy-go-lucky animal is right there. I hope to do this again sometime and learn more.